Hi, am I on the air?
Yep.
Fuck.
Thanks.
Do I have everybody's attention now? Do I have everybody's attention now?
John, I got you.
John, do I have everybody's
Sunday
attention
night.
now?
You put them cameras on me, then you must be willing to get that heart touch. This a must-see feeling. The news ain't good, then it must be villain. So I say a tag round it, I don't trust these ceilings. Spread across your nose, and I'm on your ear. Highest necks on the cloud. Am I in the air? Sunday nights, prime time. I flex mine better. Voltron transform to DX Don Mega. And off scene, you probably think I'm nice, cause I flow like a stream to your wireless device. And the smoke full of steam on any given night. I'll short like a piece of any given slice. And for the latest and what is best about I tune in and tune the rest out, Don. You gotta tell them, am I in the clear? Is this thing on? Am I on the air? On the air?
Well, what is going down, everybody? Welcome back to Am I on the Air? I'm your host, Don Mega. And once again, I left you for a couple weeks, and I am extremely sorry about that. It is October the 19th. We're broadcasting live here from the Red Dragons Radio Studios here in Tucson, Arizona. And tonight, it's Season 11, Episode 11. Tonight's show is Crimson Martian. So we got a lot to talk about. This is going to be a supersized edition of Am I on the Air? Because we have 2 weeks worth to talk about. We got a couple movie reviews. We, of course, got to talk about that brand new Star Wars trailer that just dropped tonight. It is a Monday night. Typically speaking, I record the shows on Sunday night. The reason I did not record last night was because of Star Wars. I wanted to wait until tonight and be able to talk about it, because that's a big deal. And, if I talk about the trailer in a week, there's not going to be much to talk about anymore, because everybody's already seen it, talked about it, and it'll be old news by that point. So I wanted to catch it while it was hot. The trailer just debuted a couple hours ago, and it is available on amiontheair.com. Go check it out. Click on the trailers tab, and you can see it for yourself. So rewinding back, the reason I didn't do a show last Sunday is because we did a brand new Red Dragons Assemble episode, and I wanted you guys to be able to go check that out. I hate kind of almost competing with myself, so to speak. Am I on the Air is my flagship show. This is where my heart is. But once a month we do Red Dragons Assemble. I assemble with my boys Geeky Pat and Peeps, and we get together, we roundtable a bunch of entertainment news. And when that show comes out, I really want to direct your guys' attention to it and not really, like I said, compete with myself, so to speak, because I have 2 shows out in the same week, and some people can only listen to one podcast. So I figured, I'm going to wait. I'm going to hold off another week of Am I on the Air and let, Red Dragons Assemble do its thing. So if you haven't listened to the new Red Dragons Assemble episode, which is episode 8, please go check it out on reddragonsradio.com. Just click on the Red Dragons Assemble tab right at the top there. If you're on iTunes, you can download and listen to it on iTunes. And if you are a big Stitcher fan, you can listen to it on Stitcher as well, and on Spreaker. So plenty of places to check out Red Dragons Assemble. But tonight, it's about Am I on the Air? And let's kick things off, and let's just talk about that Star Wars trailer, because that shit was pretty hot, and that's the new hotness right now. So we'll lead right off with it. The third and final Star Wars trailer dropped tonight, courtesy of J.J. Abrams, and they launched it in association with Monday Night Football. So a lot of people were having to watch the football game that maybe didn't want to, like myself. I DVR'd the football game, and then as soon as I knew it was coming, rewinded it, checked it out. So, on top of that, let me see here. I had to make sure I had to go back and watch it twice just to make sure I didn't miss anything. And it was a really good trailer. Really good. Did it beat Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, the big 3-minute one from Comic-Con? No. That is still the best trailer to date. But this was pretty damn awesome. It was nice for once because obviously the other 2 Star Wars trailers are considered teasers still. And this was an actual official trailer that gave us some dialogue, and we got to see kind of a little bit of the story. And we got to hear Kylo Ren's voice for the first time. And, you know, saying how he's going to carry on and finish the job that Vader started. And it was just creepy. And, you know, still wondering what the connection is between Poe Dameron and Finn, you know, and Daisy Ridley's character. And just so cool seeing everything tie together. You got to see Han and Chewie and Princess Leia. No Luke Skywalker though, man. I'm super bummed about it. You know, yesterday the official poster dropped and everyone's on the poster but Luke Skywalker. So they're really keeping him a secret right now, which could be really cool when the movie comes out. But, you know, when you're a big Star Wars fan, especially like going back to the original trilogy, those Star Wars movies were all about Luke Skywalker, and I want to see Luke. And, you know, we haven't gotten Luke really in the other 2 trailers, and we didn't get Luke in this new trailer. We didn't get Luke on the poster, so that's a little disappointing. But other than that, it's an amazing it was an amazing poster. It was an amazing trailer, and I really cannot wait for December the 18th. Tickets are officially on sale right now. You can Fandango. You can go through your local movie theater's website. Some cities are doing Star Wars marathons starting at 1 a.m. on December the 17th, where they will play all 6 movies and then culminating in the release of Force Awakens. So that is really cool. Unfortunately, my local theater is not doing that, although I don't know if I could do it all day like that. You know, but that would be kind of cool too. But yeah, I think as soon as I'm done recording the show here, I'm going to be grabbing our tickets for the crew. So, you know, we're going to try to see if we can get that opening night IMAX screening. So we will see. So definitely, if you missed the trailer, it's all over our Facebook page, our Twitter page, and like I said, amiontheair.com. Click on the trailers tab, and it's right there. So no excuse not to check it out. And just a quick little side note to my boy Friggins and Peeps, who are trying to be all hard asses right now, saying they're not going to watch it because they want to wait and see it on the big screen. Guys, just watch the damn thing, alright? Because who knows when you'll see it on the big screen, especially Peeps, because he never goes to the movies. So you're just, you know, there's no point to wait. Just go and check it out. Stop procrastinating for no reason. Alright, so on that note, let's switch gears to movies. I got 2 movie reviews for you, The Martian and Crimson Peak. I'm going to start with The Martian because it's been out for a couple weeks now, and, you know, when I did my last show, I actually skipped seeing The Martian and I saw Sicario instead, and that was a mistake because The Martian was way better than Sicario. But I'm glad we did get to see The Martian, and it was really, really good. I was very, very happy with how this movie turned out. Stellar cast. I mean, Jeff Daniels and Kate Mara and, you know, just Sebastian Stan's in it, and Jessica Chastain, and, you know, Michael Pena. Just the casting was just all over the place. Chiwetel Ejiofor, so many good people. And you know the story by now. Space team go to Mars, they're checking stuff out, a storm hits, and Matt Damon gets caught into the storm. They think he's dead, and they end up having to evacuate Mars. But he's not dead. Hello, surprise, I'm alive. And he's trying to stay alive until a rescue ship can come back and get him. But that's easier said than done because he's on Mars and he's only got enough food supplies to last 30 days, and a trip to Mars actually takes 4 years to get done. So it's all about the planning stages and getting ships and testing this and testing that and how can we survive. And, you know, it's got a lot of twists and turns. It plays out really, really well for being a movie that is mainly focused on one dude on a planet by himself. They keep the pacing done really extremely well. It's directed by Ridley Scott, this is his best movie in many, many years. And overall, this was just an outstanding movie. I don't know how much replay value would be. Like, for me, I kind of struggle with the replay value on this, because I feel like once you know how it turns out, you're kind of like, okay, what's the point of really sitting through it again? But I know a lot of people that have seen it multiple times because they liked it so much. So I guess it just depends on you. But for me, I'm glad I saw it, and it was a great movie. I just don't know how the replay value would be on it. But I enjoyed the hell out of it, and I give it 4 out of 5 stars. It was really, really good, and I definitely highly recommend to anybody that looks like they had any kind of interest in this film. Please give it a shot. Go check it out. A lot of you have. Movies made a ton of money already. It was number 1 for 2 weeks in a row. It just fell out of the top spot, but not by much, by literally just like a couple $1 million. I mean, the word of mouth is so good on this thing. It is just keeps on trucking in that money. And there's also a good possibility for that Oscar nomination, maybe even for Matt Damon, maybe even for Jeff Daniels in a supporting role. So we'll see. But yeah, definitely check out The Martian, 4 out of 5. And my next movie is something, we go from something that I'm telling you to definitely check out to something I tell you to stay the hell away from, and that's Crimson Peak. I want to take this time right now to just thank Geeky Pat for being my movie buddy and coming with me and watching these films even when he doesn't want to, because he did not want to see this movie, and I was like, come on man, let's go, it's Crimson Peak, it's gonna be pretty cool, let's check it out. And so he did, and unfortunately I made him sit through a big steaming pile of shit, and I apologize for that. Hey, you win some and you lose some, but all that matters is that we try, right? Because then we get good stories to talk about stuff like this. So, Crimson Peak, one of the things I was laughing at with Geeky Pat was the fact that we've only seen one trailer for this movie. And that's a big red flag to me, because it was like they didn't know what else to show you. Like they couldn't come up with enough of other stuff to make another trailer. And after watching the movie, I know exactly why. Because the movie sucked, and all the good parts in it are in the trailer. So there was nothing left to show you. I've not really gotten into arguments, but I've had several people on Facebook try to, come back at me over this movie and be like, well, it's visually beautiful, and Guillermo del Toro knows how to make pretty movies. Sure, it's a good-looking movie. That doesn't make it not a piece of shit. This movie was just boring as fuck. It really, really was. I never, ever want to walk out of a movie. I just don't. I feel like you paid the money, sit through it, check it out, right? It's very, very rare. I think I've only walked out of maybe one movie in my life, maybe 2, tops. It takes a lot, but I was probably 30 minutes into this film, and I was ready to be like, let's go. It was between 30 to 45 minutes. I wanted to leave. Then, that's how long it took for them to even get to Crimson Peak, which is the big haunted mansion or whatever that Tom Hiddleston lives at. They got to Crimson Peak, and I said, okay, let's not go. Let's sit and see what happens now, because they're at Crimson Peak, right? All the cool stuff's going to happen now. No. So then about an hour in, I was going to say, let's go again. Then I was like, man, we're already an hour in at this point. And then the next time I thought about going, I was like, okay, we're way too close to the end now to leave. Let's see at least how it ends. And it was just so boring, man. The first half hour to 45 minutes is literally like watching an episode of Downton Abbey on PBS. If you're into that kind of thing, cool, maybe you should go check out Crimson Peak, but I'm not into that kind of thing, and it was just boring, utter nonsense that had nothing to do with it, nothing to do with the movie, nothing to do with the story. So then, there's just nothing that really happens in this thing, and like I said, they really tricked you with the trailer, and they make you feel like it's this big horror movie, and it's not. Because like I said, all the scary parts, all the ghost spots are what you see in the trailer. Out of that, nothing's going on in this film. It's just stupid. And for me, right now at this point, this is the worst movie of 2015 for me. So this is my Razzie nomination. And for some reason, I know some people like it. The film is fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, but it's like at the bottom of the fresh meter. Like at 55, like right at that 60% mark before it falls into Rotten. but I know Geeky Pat hated it just as much as I did. We walked out and we both kind of looked at each other like, what the fuck did we just watch? It was just horrible, man. I mean, I felt bad for dragging him to this movie. It was just so bad. So yeah, so on the star scale, I've given Crimson Peak 1 out of 5 stars. This is the worst movie I've seen. You know, I reviewed The Green Inferno on the last episode, and The Green Inferno I also gave 1 out of 5 stars too. But I'll tell you, I'd rather watch Green Inferno 5 times in a row than ever sit through Crimson Peak again. It was just that bad, and it really solidified understanding why Legendary Pictures does not want to finance Pacific Rim 2, because you just can't trust Guillermo del Toro. They probably, I told Pat, I said the people at the movie studio probably watched an early screening of this, and then after they watched it, that's when we read that Pacific Rim 2 was put on indefinite hold, because they were like, hell no, you ain't making that movie using our money after watching what the hell you did with this film. So, just horrible. I do not recommend this at all. I don't recommend it to watch on Netflix. I don't recommend it to rent at Redbox. I don't recommend it to download by torrent. I don't recommend it for anything. Just don't waste your time. Okay? So that is Crimson Peak. So yeah, we got The Martian. Very good. Go check it out. 4 out of 5. And Crimson Peak, 1 out of 5. Worst movie of 2015. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we got 2 weeks worth of news right now, so let's get into it, and we're going to speed our way through and bang it out. Are you all ready? Let's do it. Alright, up first, ABC Network has ordered a new half-hour comedy sitcom from Marvel Television. It is going to be titled Damage Control, and it's going to be basically about the teams that clean up after superhero battles. I love the sound of this. No confirmation on if this will actually take place in the MCU, but I would have to assume that it does, just because everything in Marvel is. But being that this is a straight up half-hour sitcom makes it very interesting. So I'm anxious to see. I really, really am. So I'll be on the lookout for Damage Control, which I think will start next year at some point. Let's see here. Junkie XL is going to be composing the Deadpool movie score, so that's very cool that they got that. We have the trailer for Vinyl, which is the new Bobby Cannavale HBO show that's coming out next year as well. Looks really, really good. George Miller confirms that there's going to be 2 more Mad Max sequels that are in development. He doesn't say that they're going to actually make 2 more, but he says that they are doing development on 2 more films. Right there. So, a couple months ago, probably 4 or 5 months ago, we knew that Chris Lord and Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, for the directors of the Lego movie and stuff, that they were writing the script for the Flash movie. Well, we finally found out, because there was also a tentative, maybe they'll direct the film too. After they announced that they were going to be directing the Han Solo film, I knew they weren't going to be doing Flash anymore. But we finally found out who is going to be directing Flash, and it's actually kind of a shock, because this guy has not directed anything before, but he's been given the green light. His name is Seth Grahame-Smith, and he's been tapped to write and direct the Warner Brothers film. Now, a lot of people got confused when they heard write the script, because they said, I thought Chris Lord and Phil Miller were doing it. Well, Phil Lord and Chris Miller wrote the treatment for the film, so they basically did the general idea for it. And then now the treatment's been turned in, and Seth will go ahead and actually flesh that out to a full movie, and then he will direct it as well. This dude also wrote Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, which I absolutely hated that movie, but he wrote the book, so hopefully maybe that changed up. He also wrote screenplays for Dark Shadows, Beetlejuice 2, and he actually wrote the script for the Lego Batman movie that'll be coming out next year, I believe. So this is going to be his directorial debut, and we know that Ezra Miller is going to star in the film, and the film will be released on March 23rd of 2018. So Alrighty, well, at least we're moving forward with Flash, man. So, you know, we know we're kind of getting there. I'm a little bummed that Chris Miller and Phil Lord aren't directing it, because that would have been a really, really cool movie, I think, with them behind it, because everything those dudes touched turned to gold. And if it wasn't going to be them, I just kind of expected maybe a little bit of a bigger name for this, but hopefully this guy just had a really good pitch, and he's going to do something really cool with it. So it's nice to just at least have some information on where that is going. Some additional scripts have been ordered by the CW for Crazy Ex-Girlfriend and iZombie. What that means, for those of you that don't know, when they say additional scripts, is, when they make episodes, they only do so many. And when they think they might be close to doing more or ordering more episodes, they order the scripts first. So at least they have stories done. And then if they like the stories, they'll turn those into episodes. So they're liking how these seasons are going for both of these shows, and they've ordered some more scripts. We have the new Red Band trailer for 999, which is a really crazy action film starring Woody Harrelson and Kate Winslet, so you can check that out. We have a pretty cool article up with Tom Hiddleston talking about why Loki was cut from Avengers Age of Ultron, so if you're interested in that, definitely check out that article. Jamie Foxx will be voicing Biggs, a street dancing mouse, in a new animated feature called Groove Tales. Nicholas Sparks is going to be producing a semi-autobiographical comedy over at ABC. Alfonso Gomez-Rejon has exited the director's chair of Collateral Beauty, starring Will Smith. This movie here is another one that has a revolving door. Collateral Beauty was supposed to star Hugh Jackman, then he dropped out. Then Will Smith came on, and then Rooney Mara was the lead female in it, then she dropped out. And now the director has left as well, so something's going on here. And I feel like all signs point to Will Smith on this one, right? Because like he came on and everybody bounced. I'm like, is he making some kind of crazy demands or something? I don't know. It's interesting, but we'll see where that ends up going. The movie still sounds interesting, and I'm sure they'll still do a great job. But it's kind of weird when people just keep dropping like flies out of a movie like this. Speaking of Will Smith, he says fans can expect new music and a tour with DJ Jazzy Jeff, so that'll be pretty cool. George Miller says that he turned down doing the Mad Max movie. That he turned down doing the live-action Akira movie. He likes turning stuff down, because he says he turned down Man of Steel 2 also. Jon Voight has joined J.K. Rowling's Wizarding World in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. They're currently filming that right now, and he's just joined the cast of that. Let's see. We have the trailer for Bone Tomahawk, which is a new film starring Kurt Russell and Patrick Wilson. Transformers movies are coming for the next 10 years. That's what the people at Hasbro say. This just came from a meeting with the shareholders over at the Toy Developers Conference, and they just said that, we're already working on Transformers 5 and spin-offs and sequels, and we're going to do Transformers 5, 6, 7, 8, and I don't know how much to really believe from like a toy press conference, because I'm sure these guys are, they're talking about what they've heard. They talked about the writer's room and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure, as long as these movies keep making money, they'll continue them on and on and on. But sometimes you got to be careful with what these executives say from like a toy company, because they don't have the final say when it comes to, movies and green lights and all that kind of stuff. Ellen Page is in negotiations to star in the Flatliners remake movie. So this is pretty cool. It's about time. I totally see Flatliners being a movie to get remade at this point, because Flatliners is a really, really cool 80s film that I think could really do well with today's technology, even though the Lazarus Effect tried to kind of do it earlier this year, but that movie sucked. But we'll see. But yeah, Ellen Page is in talks for that. A Nancy Drew TV series is in the works over at CBS, for those of you that like that. We have the new trailer for The Good Dinosaur, which looks really, really cute. We have the honest trailer for Aladdin. And we have the official final trailer for the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. So we're about a month away from that one coming out, so you get to finally see the last official trailer for that. Fox is going to be developing its own Dancing with the Stars, but with regular people, so just dancing with regular people. House of Lies has just added Wanda Sykes and Ken Marino for some guest starring roles in the new season. Let's talk about some F. Gary Gray. This dude right here, man, is popping up all over the place. He just directed Straight Outta Compton, which was an amazing movie of the summer. Really, really good. Loved it. And so Marvel supposedly is looking at F. Gary Gray to maybe direct Black Panther. So that is a big rumor circling. And then literally right after that rumor starts circulating, Vin Diesel announces that F. Gary Gray is going to be the director for Fast and Furious 8. So with that being said, and with F. Gary Gray coming on for Fast 8, I really don't think he's going to be able to do Black Panther. I just don't think the schedules will match up very well. So that's kind of unfortunate because I would have loved to see what he did with Black Panther, but I think he's going to be an excellent choice for Furious 8. So I'm very, very excited about that. Are you a fan of the Minions movie? Well, we know when Minions is coming out. Minions is going to be hitting digital HD on November 24th and on Blu-ray combo and DVD and on demand December 8th. So get ready for that. We put up a bunch of new teasers that Netflix released for Jessica Jones, which is coming out next month on Netflix. Really, really cool teasers. They're doing a great marketing job on this TV show. The new Far Cry game is going to be titled Far Cry Primal, and it's going to take you back to the Stone Age. Very, very cool. I think that's a very interesting concept right there. George Miller also stated in an interview talking about Mad Max is that he said he isn't opposed to other directors taking on a Mad Max film. So he says, that he doesn't need to be the one to do it, and he would love to see, what other people would do with his franchise. Executive producer of American Horror Story says that they've already asked Lady Gaga to join American Horror Story Season 6. So very interesting. Season 5 just started with American Horror Story Hotel. We're only a couple episodes in. I unfortunately have not watched it yet. I know, right? Shocker. I watch too much TV. But I do have both of them on the DVR. I will watch them. I just have not had a chance to yet. But he was so happy with how Lady Gaga turned out in Season 5 that he's already asked her to come back for Season 6. Nothing official on that point yet. It unfortunately looks like Minority Report will probably be the first cancellation of the new season. And this makes me sad. My last episode we talked about all the new TV shows. We even talked about it on the new Red Dragons Assemble. And Minority Report is one I like. It's one that, I know Geeky Pat watches it too. And it's actually a pretty decent little sci-fi cop show. Unfortunately, no one's watching it. So when you look at the ratings, it is the lowest rated of all the new shows. I think there was supposed to be 13 episodes. Fox already cut it down to 10, which that's already a bad sign. And, these ratings keep up. Tonight was another new episode. So if the ratings for tonight's episode sucks too, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. I think Fox is going to start to pull the plug there. So I will keep you posted, of course. So far, so good. No shows have been canceled out of all the new ones, which is great. So, scared to see when the first one gets axed. Joe Robert Cole has been hired by Marvel to write the Black Panther movie, so at least we're getting some movement there. Hulu has signed another exclusive deal to stream a bunch of Comedy Central shows. They'll be doing Inside Amy Schumer, Broad City, Key and Peele, and some more. So very, very cool on the Hulu front. Let's see here. The adaptation of Yellowbirds has just added Jennifer Aniston and Jack Houston to the cast there. George Lopez is going to star in a new movie called Aloha Santa. ABC Family is changing their name to try to get all hip and fancy. So no more ABC Family up here soon. The new name of the channel will be Freeform. Alrighty. Trisha Helfer has joined Sony's Powers Season 2. I like Trisha Helfer. She's super hot. But yeah, she's going to be on Power Season 2, so that gets me excited. Power Season 1, pretty good, but you got to watch it on PlayStation. That's the only way to watch it. So check it out. It's free if you're a PlayStation Plus member. So I talked on the last show about possibly an indefinite hold on the Terminator franchise. Well, the people behind the franchise came out and they said the franchise is not on hold. It is just going to go through some readjusting. It seems like if you really read the full article that they are probably going to be looking more into the TV side of things. So, even though they say like they're on hold, or that they're not on hold, I feel like they are really on hold because they're not going to do any more movies. I feel like it's all going to be focused on trying to do another TV show like the Sarah Connor Chronicles or something like that. So, Terminator franchise is not on hold. They're just going through some readjusting. Jake Gyllenhaal has joined Snowpiercer director Bong Joon-ho, his new monster movie called Okja. Okay, don't know much else about that. A brand new Justice League cartoon might be coming very soon to Cartoon Network, so keep your eyes open for that. Taylor Swift is officially the most popular person on Instagram, so congratulations to her. It's official for all you Voice fans. Christina Aguilera will be returning next season, which for me kind of bums me out because I prefer Gwen, I prefer Shakira over over Christina coming back, but that's just me. A&E Network is going to air Sean Bean's Frankenstein Chronicles. For fans of Bob's Burgers, rejoice, because Fox has renewed Bob's Burgers for a 7th and 8th season. So that is really, really cool there. Rick Moranis passed on doing a Ghostbusters reboot cameo. He was the only one that seems to have passed, and that really sucks. Brian Grazer says that he's working on an Eddie Murphy movie for Netflix, that they're doing something special to put out on Netflix, so that's pretty cool. I love Eddie Murphy, man. I wish he would do much. Naomi Scott is the first official casting for the new Power Rangers movie. She's been signed on. She will be playing the Pink Ranger in the Power Rangers reboot. Now, some articles state that she will be playing Kimberly, which of course was the original Pink Ranger, but then other articles state that this will be a brand new team of Rangers and they are not replacing what the original group was because they want to continue the continuity of the TV show into this new movie. So very, very interesting there. So congratulations to Naomi Scott, who is going to be the Pink Ranger. The Sherlock special trailer has arrived, so you can check that out. We put up an article with Daniel Craig, and I gotta say I was really, really bummed with what this dude said. They talked to him, and he said that he would rather kill himself than do another James Bond movie. He went on to say that, if you see me in another one of these films, know that I did it just for the money. Things like he's just over it already, stuff like that. And it really kills me with these celebrities sometimes when they're just so kind of cold or heartless about a franchise that has made them millionaires and made them who they are today. Nobody gave a fuck about Daniel Craig before he became James Bond, and then he did, and he did a very good job with it. And a lot of people say, oh, it's my favorite Bond movie or favorite Bond actor, and that's cool, but the dude has literally only done 4 of these films and he's bitching. Like, seriously, dude? And it's not like he does one of these like a year. Like, they've been spread out like 3 years between each other. And I just find it very, very silly that he would say statements like this. And hopefully he regrets saying them. Hopefully his people kind of get on him for this and say, dude, how dare you do this about your bread and butter. He does have one more on his contract, but if he's got this kind of attitude, I can't see Sony wanting him back, I just don't. So really, really bummed about how Daniel Craig reacted about this. In the Everything Wrong With series, we got Everything Wrong With Hook in 18 minutes or less. Sana Lathan is going to be starring in a new event series from Fox, so look for that. Let's see here. American Music Awards. Jennifer Lopez is going to host the show this year, so that's pretty cool. Tim Robbins joins John Hamm in Marjorie Prime, so that's pretty cool there. Oliver Stone's Snowden movie, that was supposed to come out in December. The film has been pushed back, and its new release date will be May 13th of 2016. So don't expect it this year anymore. We have everything wrong with Mad Max Fury Road, so you can check that out. You know, some people wrote me on Twitter and said nothing. Oh, there's stuff wrong with it. Come on, it wasn't that great of a movie. In some funny news, Beyonce bought the Big Lebowski mansion, so that's pretty cool. Steve McQueen's Papillon is getting a remake with Danish director Michael Noir. Tatiana Maslany is in talks to join Jake Gyllenhaal in the Boston Marathon bombing movie. Liev Schreiber and Naomi Watts get in the ring for The Bleeder. The Conjuring 2 is now filming, and they've just brought back Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson, so very, very cool there. If you've been looking to get a PS4, now is the time. The price has just officially dropped, and the PS4 went from $400 to $350, and there's a lot of really good prices on the bundles right now as well, so definitely go get yourself one, because it is the way to go. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2016 nominees. You can read the full article, but this year will feature, or 2016 will feature the Smiths, Janet Jackson, and NWA. So very cool additions there to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Wiz Khalifa and Charlie Puth's See You Again video from Fast and Furious 7 has hit over 1 billion views. That is insane right there. So very, very cool, man. It's the biggest streamed hip-hop song or music video ever of all time. So I love it. You can check out the final Hemlock Grove Season 3 trailer, because this is the final season as well. So check out that new trailer. And, you know, I really need to get back into Hemlock Grove. I started to watch the first season, and for some reason we just never finished it. And I really want to give, especially with knowing that it's ending in the third season, I just need to binge it all. Very excited about this news. You know, we kind of broke it and talked about it on Red Dragons Assemble last week, but it's my turn to talk about it here for all you Am I on the Air people, in case you didn't see it. Marvel has announced a sequel to Ant-Man. Yeah, buddy. Ant-Man and the Wasp is what the new movie is going to be called, and Ant-Man and the Wasp will be released on July 6, 2018. So that is very cool. We're a couple years away, but it's nice to see them, because they've already announced what their whole Phase 3 lineup was going to be, and of course there was no Ant-Man 2, because they didn't even know how Ant-Man 1 would do, and Ant-Man 1 did very, very well. It actually just last weekend opened up in China, and it did like $45 million, which in China they said was like the second biggest opening ever for a Marvel film behind the Avengers, Age of Ultron. So it's crushing. It's made almost $500 million worldwide. Definitely deserves a sequel, so I'm super, super stoked about this one here. Ant-Man and the Wasp. So cause Phase 3 to kind of branch out a little bit more, to be longer, and they had to do some shifting. So Black Panther and Ms. Marvel kind of got pushed back a little bit, and they had to kind of fit it in, like how they had to do when the Spider-Man got purchased on it. What they also did on top of this was they announced 3 mystery films. So kind of putting it all together, Ant-Man and the Wasp will be the return of Paul Rudd as Scott Lang alongside Evangeline Lilly as Hope Van Dyne. That movie will debut on July 6, 2018, the original release date for Black Panther. Black Panther will now open in theaters on February 16th. So actually Black Panther moved up a little bit. So that'll come out in February. The announcement comes after the success of Ant-Man this past summer, which brought in almost $200 million domestically and almost $300 million worldwide. and a global total, bringing everything together for close to $500 million. Captain Marvel leaves its November 2nd, 2018 date and gets pushed back to March 8th, 2019. Then Marvel also released 3 mystery dates for 2020, which is most likely Phase 4. So May 1st, 2020, July 10th, 2020, and November 6th, 2020. That's all we know. We don't know any titles. We don't know what's going to come of it. But those are the release dates. On top of all the other Marvel Phase 3 stuff like Captain America Civil War, Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, the Spider-Man movie, Thor Ragnarok, Avengers Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2, and the Inhumans movie. So, very, very cool. I'm excited, man. Ant-Man and the Wasp. The Incredibles 2 gets a 2019 release date. So, that's a long-ass time for that movie. Just saying. You know? It's like they're working on it now in 2015. It's going to take to 2019 to get this damn thing out. I don't know, man. I just don't know, man. But they also, Disney also set the release dates for some of their other films as well. The official date for Incredibles 2 will be June 21st, 2019. And let me see what I have for the full Disney and Pixar schedule here. Cars 3 will now come out on June 16th, 2017. Toy Story 4 moves to June 15th, 2018, so that got pushed back a year. And Incredibles 2 on June 21st, 2019. So some new dates there for some of the Disney films. We have the official synopsis released for X-Men Apocalypse, and it's pretty much exactly what you thought it would be. Tyrant has been renewed for a 3rd season, even though I didn't even know it got a 2nd season. So that's cool. AMC has also renewed Halt and Catch Fire for season 3. So very cool there. Let's see. Ron Perlman has just been added to the cast of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Nicholas Hoult, Luke Evans, and Superman himself, Henry Cavill, have joined the war film Sandcastle. So great casting here. I like to see all these guys together. Very, very cool. Netflix is going to be raising the subscription price. I believe it's going up $1 to $8.99. But yeah. Bruno Mars is teaming with the Empire producers to produce a NBC family comedy. So that's very interesting there. We have the awesome, badass, super cool trailer for the 4th and final season of Banshee. Y'all know how I feel about Banshee. That is my favorite show on television right now. And unfortunately, it is going into its last season in January. And they just put out, it's only like a minute and a half. It's not a very long trailer. But man, it kicks ass and it makes me so excited to see what they're going to do with this show. I don't think anybody's making it out alive of this thing. We also have the first trailer for ABC Family's Shadowhunters series, which of course is based on the Mortal Instruments books. We have a new photo of Batman from Batman v Superman, which is pretty cool to check out. Supposedly in the rumor mill, once again, the Justice League Dark movie is going to be moving forward. And Scott Rudin's going to be producing, Guillermo del Toro is producing, and supposedly WB says, let's make this film a priority. So they want to start filming next year. I've heard no confirmation from Warner Brothers, so I don't know how much to believe on this, because I find it very odd that they wouldn't want to go so head deep into Justice League Dark when, you know, they haven't even done Green Lantern yet, or Martian Manhunter, or, you know, Flash or Cyborg. Like, they have all these big names, Shazam, like everybody's waiting in the wings, and they're just gonna jump to Justice League Dark, you know. So we'll see, but that's a big rumor going around right now. We have the first trailer for Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. We also have the first trailer for Hail Caesar, which is the new Joel and Ethan Coen movie, which is very star-studded. Brie Larson is going to be replacing Jennifer Lawrence in the new film Glass Castle. Jennifer Lawrence dropped out, so Brie Larson has stepped in. Expendables 4 is on the way. This makes me very happy. They're going to start filming next year. And Sly says, don't worry, we're going back to our R rating, which is very good, because that's where they messed up in Expendables 3, trying to get us on a PG-13. So get back to it. Kevin James is returning to headline a brand new comedy for CBS. I'm very excited about this. I love Kevin James, and sitcoms is where it's at, man. He was amazing on King and Queens, one of my favorite sitcoms of all time, and I can't wait to see him return to CBS and do something a little new. Disney is fast-tracking a live-action Cruella de Vil movie, and it'll be written by the 50 Shades of Grey writer. How interesting for that. So, that is hilarious. Fear the Walking Dead delivers the highest rated first season of any series in cable history, so congratulations to them. CBS has canceled Halle Berry's show Extant, but they are developing a new project for Halle Berry to jump onto, so that's pretty cool. I never got into Extant. I started to DVR it last year when it came out, and then I just ended up deleting it and saying, I'm not interested. And then I got a second season, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, and then I'm just glad I didn't mess with it. It's just, I never really heard anything too good about it. Ubisoft president and CEO is comparing the Assassin's Creed movie to Batman Begins. So that's a good comparison. I don't mind that. Very cool. We have the first official trailer for Shelter, starring Jennifer Connelly and Anthony Mackie. We have the trailer for Love the Coopers, starring John Goodman and Diane Keaton. Let's see. I'm skipping some news too, because since I am going through 2 weeks worth of news, some of it kind of isn't relevant anymore, so I'm skipping some of the stuff that isn't relevant. Disney XD has also renewed Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, the animated show. It's coming back for another season. Bradley Cooper is going to be returning to the TV show Limitless on October 27th. I am still loving Limitless. It is one of my, I think Blind Spot is my favorite new show, and Limitless is right behind it for me. Those are my two heavy hitters right now from new shows on television. I'm very excited about that. CBS orders a new murder mystery called American Gothic that's going to be coming out on summer of 2016. MTV has announced a mid-season return for Teen Wolf Season 5. Bryan Singer teases a longer runtime for X-Men Apocalypse. He says he likes to keep all his movies right around that 2-hour mark, but he says X-Men Apocalypse is really the culmination of 6 X-Men films, X-Men 1, 2, 3, First Class, Days of Future Past, and Apocalypse. So he says, it's going to run longer because he's really wrapping up an entire saga. So that'll be really, really cool. And I think a new trailer is going to drop here within the next month to get to see the first official trailer for X-Men Apocalypse. Speaking of Blind Spot, I just name dropped it a couple minutes ago, and congratulations to Blind Spot because it is the first new show to get picked up for a full season. So congratulations to NBC picking up Blind Spot for a full season. I love this show. If you have Hulu, check it out. It's on NBC. It's a great, great show. Very, very interesting. Let's see here. CBS has ordered a new murder mystery from Steven Spielberg's Amblin Television. It'll be coming soon. Recent reports indicate that The Flash's movie costume will look more tech-based, unlike the TV show. And they're comparing it to kind of how the main suit looks like in the video game Injustice: Gods Among Us, which I love that suit in the video game. So if they can pull that off in the movie version, hell yeah. That's going to be really, really cool. Teen Wolf sets a January return date, so that'll be coming back then. We got an article up with Kevin Smith talking about Mallrats 2, so if you're interested, check that out. We have a supposed villain and timeline of the new Power Rangers movie. Some spoilers may be included, so you can read the article if you're interested. I'm not going to read that out loud. Let's see here. Batman The Killing Joke, which is going to be a new Batman animated film. They're saying that it might actually be rated R. It is that dark, so that'll be very, very interesting to see. an update on the X-Files revival show. Supposedly episodes 1 and 6 are going to be mythology episodes. 2 through 5 are going to be standalone episodes, and the lone gunmen are definitely back. So very cool to kind of bring everything together for this new X-Files TV show. Kevin Smith cast Bruce Campbell for Mallrats 2. Actually, at New York Comic Con, they were doing a panel together, and Bruce Campbell was there talking about Ash versus Evil Dead, and Kevin Smith was there, and they started talking, and he got Bruce Campbell to agree to be in Mallrats 2. So pretty awesome there, man. I love the casting of that. So let's bring them all together. Marvel's Nuke looks to be a part of Jessica Jones, so Nuke is I believe a villain character. I'm not too familiar with the Jessica Jones storyline, but it looks like he's going to be a part of the Netflix series. Peter Pan bombed last weekend. Pan was the big new release at the box office, and it only made $15 million in its debut, and looks to cost Warner Brothers about $150 million in losses, man. $150 million. Yeah, you can't only make $15 million in your opening weekend when your movie cost $150 to make. It just doesn't work out. All right, let's see here. George R.R. Martin from Game of Thrones, of course. His werewolf book, Skin Trade, gets a pilot order over at Cinemax, so that is really, really cool. Paul Rubens is going to be playing Penguin's father on Gotham. I love the casting of that dude, because I think the guy that plays Penguin looks just like Paul Rubens, so that is awesome. Mark Hamill is going to be returning to The Flash. He's going to be playing the Trickster once again, so that is awesome. Congratulations to Janet Jackson, who earned her 7th #1 album with her new album Unbreakable. We have the first season 1 trailer for Outcast, which is a new TV show coming. If you're a fan of Furiosa, of course, Charlize Theron's character from Mad Max Fury Road, I hate to tell you, but she does not look to be a part of the sequel. George Miller stated that the next Mad Max sequel will not star Charlize in it. So, sorry. She's not a part of the script, at least at this point. Maybe he'll write her in, but he says don't expect it. So, hate to bust that. Big news here. When we reported this news, it was about a week ago, and it was just a rumor, but since then, it has been confirmed. Mark Ruffalo is reprising his role as the Hulk, and he is going to be in Thor Ragnarok. Yes, Thor 3 is going to include the Hulk, and this gets me super excited. I love the Thor movies. They're great, but just the idea and the thought of having Hulk in it and being a part of that, of teaming up with Thor to kick some ass in Ragnarok sounds incredible, man. I am so stoked about this. I mean, Thor and Hulk are the only two characters missing from Civil War, so this makes perfect sense to include Hulk here. We only get to see Hulk in Avengers movies. They don't want to do another solo Hulk movie, so what do? Makes sense. Have Thor come get Banner and be like, dude, I need your help, man. I got this war to fight. I need you. And they could even bring in elements of Planet Hulk into it. I just think they're going to do some really cool shit with this, and I am beyond ecstatic to know that the Hulk is going to be in Thor Ragnarok. So, very, very cool news right there. Over back on TV, a Fantasy Island reboot is in the works at ABC. I don't know why, because I think they did reboot this a couple years ago and it bombed. But, yeah. Jessica Chastain says she would love to play a Bond villain. That'd be cool. I would love to see a version of that. Vin Diesel says that XXX3 has a director, but he's not sure when the film is going to start shooting. So Vin, quit teasing me with this XXX shit, because you were supposed to start filming in December from what you told me. But yeah, he talked about doing the new movie, starting to film in December, but now says that they might have a scheduling conflict with him starting to prep for Fast and Furious 8. He did announce, though, that Disturbia director DJ Caruso has been signed to direct the third film. So we'll see what's going on that front, but we might have to wait a little bit longer once again for Triple X3. MTV's The Real World is returning to Las Vegas. The Escape from New York remake finds a writer in Luther creator Neil Cross. So that is really, really cool. That's a great addition right there to get to write your movie. Steve Zahn has joined the film War for the Planet of the Apes. So that is a really cool addition right there. I'd love to hear that. So yeah, very, very cool. Gary Busey will join his son Jake Busey in From Dusk Till Dawn, the TV show. Let's see here. John Ridley is going to direct the LA Riots movie. We have a semi-teaser for Daredevil Season 2. And I mean really, really teaser. It just kind of does a couple real quick glances. You get to see Elektra a little bit, and you get to see Punisher from behind. But nothing much to it. Chris Vance has joined the cast of Supergirl, and he is going to star as the villain Non, which you should know from Superman 2. He was the one with Zod, so he was the real big guy, real big doofy guy. The movie adaptation of Gray Man has just cast Charlize Theron to star in it. Steven Spielberg hints that him and Harrison Ford may be returning for Indiana Jones 5. I know a lot of people will be super stoked for that. The Roadhouse remake that we talked about on last week's show that was going to have Ronda Rousey, they've just landed a director, and Nick Cassavetes is going to be directing the film with Ronda, so that is really, really cool there. Steve Zahn in Planet of the Apes, I believe, is going to be playing a new ape character. So that'll be interesting there. Because I thought it was kind of odd that Steve Zahn joined the cast of this. And then I was like, oh, he's going to be an ape? That makes sense. So, what is it? Fox picks up the sci-fi spec called Ascension. So that's coming. American Horror Story Hotel becomes the number 2 telecast in FX history, besting only second to itself. American Horror Story Freak Show last season did more. So, but it did phenomenal outside of that. The Robin Hood reboot has been pushed back to be able to start making Kingsman 2. Taron Egerton, I believe is his name. He was the kid in Kingsman. He is going to star as Robin Hood in the reboot, which is Robin Hood Origins, I believe it's called. It was supposed to start shooting in a couple months, but Matthew Vaughn, who directed Kingsman, and he's producing the sequel and directing the sequel supposedly, his time frame is to start filming this thing in the next couple months also. And Taron Egerton, his contract states that Matthew Vaughn has priority if he wants to use him for a sequel to Kingsman. So instead of the Robin Hood movie trying to recast him, they decided to just push the film back a bit so they could allow him to do Kingsman 2 first, and then he'll come do the Robin Hood reboot. So pretty cool. Everybody's happy. You get all parties worked out. Same thing kind of happened with Jennifer Lawrence when she was trying to do the second Hunger Games movie. They were going to start filming Days of Future Past, and the X-Men series actually had priority on her contract over Hunger Games, but they allowed her to do the Hunger Games movie first and then come do X-Men, so pretty cool. We have Everything Wrong with the Ring in 14 minutes or less. Another new show that looks like it's basically dead at this point is Blood and Oil. New Don Johnson show. It's on Sunday nights, so Blood and Oil, Jones Minority Report at the bottom of the barrel. Quentin Tarantino says he's going to have 2 different versions of The Hateful Eight. I don't know if you'll be able to see 2 different versions in your local movie theater, because one he's going to be doing in a special kind of format, but the theater will have to have that kind of special film, which most theaters don't. So I don't know where you'll be able to see it, but he's going to do like an intermission, and he's going to have some extra scenes on top of what the regular version will be. Yeah. Well, the Charlize Theron one, she's going to headline The Gray Man as a gender-swapped version of the book's protagonist. So I don't know much about this book. I haven't heard about it, but that's very interesting. Felicity Huffman's dark comedy House of Moore gets a pilot deal over at ABC. Metallica, James Hetfield from Metallica states that the band is making a new album right now. So thank God, because your last CD was almost 10 years ago, James. Let's get going. I would love to hear some new Metallica. You can see the list of all the nominees for the 2015 AMAs, so look for that. Robert Zemeckis has dashed any hopes of a new installment for the Back to the Future franchise. He says there's no more stories to tell, which is kind of a bullshit excuse because there's a lot of stories you could tell with time travel, so shut it, Zemeckis. Emilia Clarke has been named Esquire's sexiest woman alive, so that is really cool. Unfortunately, we'll never see her naked in Playboy because Playboy has decided to no longer publish nude photography, so that is my next piece of news, so boo on Playboy. Keegan-Michael Key and Ray Liotta are going to be guest starring in an upcoming Modern Family episode. Beauty and the Beast is going to be ending with season 4. I know a lot of people were like, that show's even still on? It is still on the CW, but yes, it will end with this season on season 4. Donald Trump is going to be hosting SNL. This is going to be crazy. He's going to be hosting SNL on November 7th with musical guest Sia. Quantico, which is another new show, is the second show behind Blind Spot to pick up a full season order. So congratulations, that's over on ABC. Quantico is on Hulu as well. I am very interested to see Quantico, but this is another new show that I have not had time to watch yet, so they're all on the DVR. I need to start watching it because I hate when shows start to get around 5 episodes or more stacked on me, and I think Quantico's going on 4, so I need to hurry up, but congratulations to it. So I'm excited more to watch it, knowing that it's already been picked up for its full season. Lionsgate Movies is going to be developing a feature adaptation of zombie comic Z-Men. Congratulations to Fresh Off the Boat. I love this TV show. It is so good, and it's earned a full season 2 order of 22 episodes. So congratulations, man. One of the funniest half-hour sitcoms on TV right now is Fresh Off the Boat. So good. Darren Aronofsky is going to be teaming with Jennifer Lawrence for a mystery feature. We don't know much more about that, but we will see. Bridget Jones' Baby has been slated for release on September 16th, 2016. For those of you that are interested. Bella Thorne, she's going to be getting a new drama from the Pretty Little Liars boss, and it has been picked up for an ABC Family pilot order. Or should I say freeform. Yeah, so she'll be coming back for a new TV show there. Sci-Fi's show Dominion has been canceled after 2 seasons. Harry Connick Jr. is going to be getting his own talk show. I don't know why, but yeah. HBO has ordered Lena Dunham's 1960s feminism comedy pilot. Okay. This I'm very excited about. If you watch Arrow, you know that the new big bad guy is Damien Dark. And Damien Dark is a badass character. I'm loving the way he's being played, doing so good. We found out that he will cross over to The Flash, and he'll even be on Legends of Tomorrow. So very, very cool there. Let's get it. Let's get it. The E! Channel is going to be spinning off the TV show Botched and be doing a spin-off there of that. So, yeah. Universal's Mummy reboot could feature a female monster. We have the first promo video for a Very Murray Christmas promo, Bill Murray's Netflix Christmas special. FX is going to be developing a Why the Last Man TV series, so that's pretty cool. This is something that I've been hearing about, a movie for 10 years probably. They were going to do a movie about this, but it looks like they've settled on doing a TV show now. Faith Hill is going to be executive producing a new daytime talk show with Kelly Pickler set as host. So, alright. Josh Gad is going to be writing the Gorgeous George biopic film for WWE Studios, so that's pretty cool there. I like Josh Gad, and I love WWE, so let's put it together. CBS has delayed Angel from Hell, and they've moved up to Broke Girls. So instead of debuting Angel from Hell, I believe November, like the first week of November, they pushed it back to 2016, and they've now moved up to Broke Girls to that first week of November to debut its new season. The studio said that they wanted to push back Angel from Hell to kind of give it the most breathing room to be successful in its new season. I think that they're just afraid because there's too many shows on television right now, and people are already invested in the new stuff, and then you're going to try to throw out another new show in November. They just knew it was going to bomb, and they had to move on from that. Rebecca Ferguson is in talks to join the Snowman, and may actually be in negotiations to join Alien Paradise Lost. So that's pretty cool. I love Rebecca Ferguson. She was great in Mission Impossible, and I would love to see her in some more movies. And in some really big news, we actually talked a lot about this on our Red Dragons Assemble last week, but we've talked about the rumors here on this show before, but it is now official. We're getting our King Kong versus Godzilla. Yes, we are. Here's going to be the lineup. First, it's Kong Skull Island, confirmed for 2017. Then Godzilla 2 in 2018, followed by Godzilla vs. Kong in 2020. So how cool is that? I mean, just at the thought of it, I was like, that's a pretty cool idea, but now we know it's coming, which means that even though we got Kong Skull Island first, and we got Godzilla 2. We know it's going to be building to this epic fight in the third movie between Godzilla and Kong. It's going to be really, really cool. That is big news, and it's great to see that the studios are trying to do something very, very cool and unique for the fans. So I love it. And thank you so much to Legendary and Warner Brothers Pictures for putting together this new cinematic universe. Very, very cool. We have the honest trailer for Jurassic World, so check that one out. We have Big Stone Gap, which is another new trailer. It's a romance movie starring Ashley Judd and Patrick Wilson. We have Lost in the Sun, which is a new film starring Josh Duhamel. Robert Rodriguez is set to direct Alita: Battle Angel for Fox Pictures. Battle Angel movie is something that's been in the works for 15 years by James Cameron. James Cameron really, really wants to make this movie. He was saying he was going to make it when he was done with Avatar, but now he's doing Avatar 2, 3, 4. He's going to be in Avatar land for quite some time, and he's not sure when he's going to get to it. So he actually picked Robert Rodriguez himself, said, this is the guy I want to do it. They became good friends. They've discussed everything together, and he says, I feel completely confident that this is the guy I want to make my Battle Angel movie. So I don't know much about Battle Angel, but I've heard all the stories about James Cameron wanting to do this movie. So I think it's really cool that he's kind of passed the baton to Robert Rodriguez. So don't mess it up, Rodriguez. Make a really cool Battle Angel movie. So it will be executive produced by James Cameron, but it will be directed by Robert Rodriguez. Cameron Crowe's new show Roadies is coming to Showtime. X-Men is getting some TV series in the works, and they're going to be both Legion and Hellfire. Basically, Legion is going to be coming to FX, and Hellfire will be coming to Fox. Legion will be based on this really weird kid that ends up being Professor Xavier's son, and Hellfire will be based loosely on the Hellfire Club. No word yet on how this will tie in with the X-Men movie universe, or if it'll be set in its own kind of TV land, but it's pretty cool to see. We've been talking about a possible X-Men show for a while, and it's pretty cool. Die Hard 6 is moving ahead, and it looks like as of right now it's going to be planned as both a prequel and a sequel. That a part of it will be a sequel, and then it will be told in a flashback to John McClane's year one in 1979 as a young cop, and a new actor will be playing the young John McClane. So and supposedly Len Wiseman will be directing the film. He did part 4, actually, Live Free or Die Hard, so he'll be coming back for it. I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, there was an idea like a year ago that they were going to do part 6 and, kind of reprising what the first Die Hard movie was, and they were going to bring Samuel L. Jackson back, and they were going to do this really really cool sequel for the fans. And now it just feels like they're dumping that all out the window, and they're giving us this reboot kind of with a young John McClane. And I don't want to see John McClane in 1979. I want to see Bruce Willis go back to his roots and really kick some ass the proper way. But that's what I got for you on Die Hard 6 right now. Warner Brothers is facing some trouble on its Tarzan movie, as its director is double booked. Their director of Tarzan, trying to think, what the hell's his name? David Yates. David Yates is actually currently filming Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the Harry Potter spinoff. The thing is that he's not done making Tarzan yet, but they had to start filming Fantastic Beasts, so he's kind of doing two movies at once, so to speak, and it's a problem because they're saying Tarzan needs more attention. They need to get it ready, and they're really scared after Pan just bombed so bad. Tarzan has a budget of $180 million, and it's packed with visual effects, and it's not getting the attention that it needs. And, with David Yates already jumped on to another mega budget movie, his attention just isn't there, and they're not sure they can get it done properly. So it's kind of worrying the studio, and I don't blame them, man. They said it's very, very rare that a director has to leave one movie before it's done to start doing another movie. So he might have been booked too closely here for Warner Brothers' liking. Adam Levine, of course, lead singer of Maroon 5, he's just landed a candid camera type show pilot order over at NBC, and it sounds pretty cool when you really read the details about it. If you saw the music video for his group's song Sugar, he says it's kind of like that, where they're going to just bring in celebrities and they're going to surprise people at like weddings and bar mitzvahs and birthday parties, stuff like that. So I like the idea of it. It would be pretty tight. Spike TV has renewed Ink Master Redemption for a second season. The Rosie Project, which was a new film that Richard Linklater, who directed Boyhood, that he was doing, and he had Jennifer Lawrence set to do this movie, and then Jennifer Lawrence just left the film a couple weeks ago, and now the director himself, Richard Linklater, has followed along suit. He said, I really only wanted to do this film with Jennifer, and now that she's gone, I don't really want to do it anymore. So he's left the project as well. So no word yet and if they're going to continue to try to do this movie or if they're going to get a new director, but as of right now, your director and your star are gone from the Rosie Project. Cella Ward has replaced Susan Sarandon in the new Epix comedy called Graves. Lee Pace and Carrie Coon are going to star in a new Blumhouse thriller called The Keeping Hours. My Best Friend's Wedding is another movie turning into a TV show over at ABC, because we can't get enough of those. The Amazing Spider-Man director Mark Webb has begun production on his new film called Gifted, which is starring Captain America himself, Chris Evans. America's Next Top Model has been canceled by the CW. I feel like the show's been on for 5 million years, so it's about time. But yeah, no more America's Next Top Model from the CW. The Fargo creator is the one developing Legion over at FX, so that's pretty cool there. And then, like I said, you got Hellfire coming to Fox. Alvin and the Chipmunks' new film, The Road Chip, is now going to open the same day as Star Wars, so it'll come out on December 18th. So, pretty cool kind of cross-marketing. I know a lot of people think it's kind of stupid, like, why would you want to compete with Star Wars? The Chipmunks movie is not competing with Star Wars. This is counter-programming. Not everyone can see Star Wars opening weekend. The kids that don't know about Star Wars will be like, hey, take me to see, Alvin and the Chipmunks. And the theater's going to be super slammed with Star Wars people, so they'll go see Chipmunks. So, I think it's good counter-programming. 2 more Girl with the Dragon Tattoo books are on the way, so that's pretty cool. Vin Diesel confirms that Furious 8 will be set in New York, so that is pretty cool there. There's a big rumor going around now. Supposedly Fox has already shut this down, but I got to talk about it, that the Fantastic Four rights are back at Marvel. So supposedly the deal is that to get the rights back, Marvel has traded the TV rights to X-Men. And that's where the Legion and the Hellfire Club TV shows are coming into play. So, Fox said, we want to make some X-Men TV shows. Marvel said, cool, we'll give you the rights to those TV shows if you give us Fantastic Four back. And they basically traded. And maybe that might be one of the Mystery 2020 films that we talked about earlier. Now, since then, Fox has already come out and they said, no, this isn't true. We don't know where this rumor came from, but it's not true. We didn't have to make a deal. We had the rights already to the TV shows. I don't know what to believe on this. I feel like it makes sense to trade the TV rights for a movie right that they're not going to do anything with. It's a win-win for everybody. I don't believe that Fox had the TV rights, because if they did, they would have done something already with them. I think they did need to get TV permissions. I think their contract was just for movies. So I think there's validity to this. I think Fox shot it down because maybe it's not a signed contract yet. Maybe they haven't done a done deal. But keep it in the back of your mind, because you never know what could turn out to be true. Disney Channel announced that they're going to be doing a sequel to The Descendants, their big TV movie that they did, so that is cool. Another big rumor going around over at Netflix is that Netflix and Marvel are developing a Moon Knight series. So that'd be really cool. That's Marvel's Batman, basically, so to speak. So that'd be really tight to see if Netflix brings out Moon Knight. We have the new trailer for Ratchet and Clank. Yes, the video game. They got their own movie coming out. FX has ordered 10 episodes of Donald Glover's new hip-hop comedy called Atlanta. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has just added Powers Booth to a new menacing role on the TV show. Now he's also reprising his role from Avengers. Now a lot of people don't remember he was in Avengers, but if you watch the end of the show, and basically whenever Nick Fury's talking to like the people from S.H.I.E.L.D. up in on the helicarrier, he's talking to them in the private little room up on the screens. Powers Booth is one of those guys. But now S.H.I.E.L.D. is done. Maybe he's going to be a Hydra agent. You know, who knows? But Powers Booth is coming to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is pretty cool. A new TV series about the last weeks of Michael Jackson's life is in the works over at Warner Brothers, so that's interesting. We have the first official trailer for Race, which is the Jesse Owens film, starring Jason Sudeikis and Stephen James. We have the trailer for Bleeding Heart, starring Jessica Biel. The new 20 Years of Pixar trailer for The Good Dinosaur. In our Everything Wrong With series last week, we got Everything Wrong With Avengers Age of Ultron, so check that out. Let's see here. The book Hack Slash is being adapted into a television show. I never heard of this book, but I know a lot of people were stoked about this news when I posted it on Twitter. So the pictures I've seen look pretty damn cool. So maybe Friggins knows more about this. So Hack Slash, check that out. Congratulations for Grandfathered and The Grinder. They did not get any full season pickups, but they got some additional script orders. So yeah, like I said, that's your first step to getting a little bit more. I actually really like Grandfathered and The Grinder. They're both really, really funny shows. They're not doing too hot in the ratings, though, which is another thing that makes me worried. But Fox seems to be giving them a chance by getting some more scripts ordered. So I'm down. Aaron Tveit is going to star in the new CBS sci-fi drama called Brain Dead. Sean P. Diddy Combs is going to be producing a new ABC comedy inspired by his assistant's life. So that's interesting right there. Eve Hewson is going to be playing Maid Marian in Lionsgate's Robin Hood Origins, starring Taron Egerton that we talked about earlier from Kingsman. Let's see. HBO has ordered a new Issa Rae comedy series called Insecure, which will be co-created by Larry Wilmore. Skull Island is saying that it'll take the King Kong myth in a brand new direction, so that's pretty cool. They're totally revising it. This is not a sequel to Peter Jackson's King Kong, so just to let you know. Nicholas Hoult and Jack O'Connell are looking to join a new John Lennon drama movie, so that's pretty interesting. In some Batman Arkham Knight DLC news, they've been really doing great with the DLC on this game. They've announced that they're going to be doing a Batman v Superman Batsuit, and the Batmobile from Batman v Superman will be a part of the DLC, so hells yeah. Another full season pickup has come in, and it's over on Fox, and this one's for Rosewood. So congratulations to Rosewood. I know my boy JV Lewis watches this show, and he really likes it, so shout out to Javon. He loves the show. I actually never checked this one out. It looks okay, but like I said, I just got too much on my plate right now. Also in cool casting news, DC has just signed on Rosario Dawson to do the voice of Batgirl in the Lego Batman movie. So great casting there. She gets to be in the Marvel and the DC world. ABC has canceled Rookie Blue after 6 seasons. James McAvoy has joined Charlize Theron in a new spy thriller called The Coldest City, which would be directed by one of the guys that did John Wick. One of those name movies, with the guys. Melissa Leo, Sebastian Stan, and Clark Duke have joined Showtime's new TV show I'm Dying Up Here. Sci-Fi has canceled another show. This time it's Defiance. So Defiance has been canceled after 3 seasons. We have the brand new trailer for The Danish Girl. We have the new Red Band trailer for Freaks of Nature, which looks really good, actually. I've never even heard of this movie, and it comes out in like 2 weeks. Let's see here. Amazon has acquired the streaming rights to E! Channel's The Royals, so it'll be streaming past episodes exclusively on Amazon. Hulu has nabbed the streaming rights to TNT's The Librarians. This is a show I tried to get into last year, and I just couldn't do it. Tom Hiddleston's Hank Williams biopic film I Saw the Light has been pushed back to 2016, so look for that next year. War from the Planet of the Apes has started filming, even though the movie doesn't come out until 2017. So, yeah. We have the new trailer for The Boy. This trailer looks kind of creepy. We saw it the first time when we went and saw Crimson Peak, and it's about this doll, and the doll comes to life, kind of Child's Play style, but it's done a lot creepier and more seriously. This couple thinks the doll's their son, and maybe it is their son. I don't know, but check out the trailer for The Boy. It was great seeing Tracy Morgan return to SNL this past Saturday night. He did a really, really good job, and I know it's been a long, hard road for that guy, so it was great to see him back, especially when he did Brian Fellow. My name's Brian Fellow. That's crazy. So, I love Tracy Morgan. It was so good to see him back. In reported news, once again, this is not confirmed, but it looks like Doug Liman, who directed Edge of Tomorrow and The Bourne Identity, he is being looked at to direct the Gambit movie. I think Doug Liman would be an amazing pick to do Gambit, so I really hope that this comes true. So fingers crossed. Right now it's just a rumor, though, so... we have the new Star Wars Battlefront commercial, which is really, really good. We also have the Fallout 4 live action trailer that you can check out, along with the new trailer for American Crime Story coming out later in the year. Underworld 5 started filming today with Kate Beckinsale, so hells yeah, can't wait to see her in that leather suit once again. Gilmore Girls reunion looks to be in the work at Netflix, as Netflix is planning on doing some new episodes of Gilmore Girls. So very interesting there, man. I don't know we're in this big nostalgic kind of throwback era all of a sudden of kind of going back to the well with old TV shows that have been canceled. Judy Greer is going to be reprising her role for some more ape action in War of the Planet of the Apes, so that's cool. And that brings us to today, and all wraps up our news. Of course, everything wrapping back to Star Wars The Force Awakens. Yes, the trailer once again is on the site, it's on the Facebook, it's on the Twitter. AmIOnTheAir.com, click on the trailers tab, watch it there. Once again, you can buy tickets right now, and like I said, as soon as I hit stop on this thing, I think I'm jumping on trying to get those IMAX tickets for the boys. We got to get our tickets together, man, because I need to see it opening night, buddy. Alright, so that does that. Let's get on over to our releases of the week in our box office, and we'll wrap this baby up. On DVD and Blu-ray tomorrow is going to be Jurassic World, so I can't wait to pick that up. Great movie, one of my favorites of the year. In theaters this week, and it's a crowded theater weekend, The Last Witch Hunter with Vin Diesel. That's what I'll be seeing, so I'll be reporting a review on that next Sunday. Steve Jobs, which has actually been out for the last couple of weeks on very limited release. It goes nationwide on Friday. The supposed last Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension, comes out Friday. Gem and the Holograms, and Rock the Casbah, Bill Murray's new film. So that's all hitting theaters this week. Once again, The Last Witch Hunter, Steve Jobs, Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension, Gem and the Holograms, and Rock the Casbah. And your weekend box office. Coming in number 10 is Maze Runner, The Scorched Trials, $2.8 million. Number 9 is Woodlawn with $4.1 million. Number 8 is Sicario with $4.5 million. Number 7 is The Intern with $5.4 million. Number 6 is Pan with $5.9 million. Number 5 is Hotel Transylvania 2 with $12.3 million. Number 4 in its debut is Crimson Peak with only $12.8 million. Wah, wah, shittiest movie of the year. Number 3 is Bridge of Spies, Tom Hanks' new film by Steven Spielberg, bringing in $15.4 million. Number 2 is The Martian with $21.5 million, doing so well, man. In his third week, still making over $20 million. And your new number 1 film is Goosebumps, the new Jack Black film comedy based on the books of R.L. Stine. Goosebumps is number 1 with $23.5 million. So that is your releases. That is your box office. And this has been your supersized edition of Am I on the Air? We're only approaching an hour and a half, so not too shabby. Just running about 25 minutes OT, which is fine for a whole nother week's worth of stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, I got to go through the shout outs, so please follow me on Twitter at DXDonMega. Follow the show on Twitter at Am I on the Air. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/AmIOnTheAir. You can subscribe to us on iTunes. We are on Stitcher. We're on TuneIn. We're on Instagram. We're on Periscope. We're on YouTube. We're all over the place. Make sure if you do listen to us on iTunes that you download, rate us, subscribe to us, drop a little review. It really, really helps. If you listen to us on Stitcher, make sure you hit the thumbs up button and really let them know that you like us. It really helps me out as well, kind of get the word out there for everybody. Of course, RedDragonsRadio.com, where you can listen to this show. You can listen to Am I Still on the Air? You can listen to my other show, Red Dragons Assemble. So once again, if you haven't listened to the new episode, go listen to episode 8 of Red Dragons Assemble right over there on RedDragonsRadio.com. Follow on Twitter at RedDragonsRadio so you always know what's going down with all the podcasts on the network. There's something on there for everybody, from Am I on the Air to This Week with the Geek to the People's Forum to King Falls AM to Pro Wrestling Nation to the Brothers of Destruction podcast. Lots of stuff all over RedDragonsRadio.com. That'll do it for this Monday night, October the 19th. Appreciate everybody's patience while we got the new episode together. Like I said, wanted to make sure you guys listen to Red Dragons Assemble. Wanted to talk about Star Wars tonight. So everything should be well and good. And we should be back on track for another new episode this Sunday night. And we'll review The Last Witch Hunter. Say Witch Hunter, Witch Hunter. So, my name is Don Mega. It's been fun. It's been a blast. And until next time, my friends, peace! Red Dragons!
Baggy.
Red Dragons!